We live in a world addicted to the highlight reel. We scroll past instant victories, overnight successes, and flawless execution. We are taught to fear the wobble, to hide the cracks. Elias was no different. He didn't just want to make pottery, he wanted to be great. He wanted the applause without the struggle. He wanted his art to arrive fully formed, perfect from the moment it left his hands. He didn't know it yet, but his desire for perfection was the only thing holding him back. The Apex Showcase, it was a kind of opportunity that paralyzed you with possibility to get in. Elias knew his current work wasn't enough. He needed a masterpiece. And right there, the trap was set. He wasn't focused on growing. He was focused on winning. He decided he would create the most complex, delicate, gravity-defying vase he had ever attempted. He would force success to happen. There is a dangerous drug called immediate, easy success. That little bowl, it was perfect, and it taught him absolutely nothing, other than the fact that he was capable of repeating what he already knew. Early wins are seductive. They whisper that you have nothing left to learn. They build an ego made of sugar glass. It looks solid, but it shatters at the first sign of real pressure. Elias mistook comfort for mastery. He poured weeks into the piece. He worked with a rigid intensity, terrified of making a single error. When you are terrified of failing, your work becomes stiff. There is no breath in it. Elias wasn't creating, he was managing anxiety. He placed all his self-worth into this single, fragile object. If it worked, he was a genius. If it failed, he was nothing. The firing process is where the truth comes out. Ceramics is an unforgiving medium. The heat exposes every shortcut, every pocket of air, every moment where your impatience outweighed your technique. You cannot lie to the fire. Elias had rushed the drying process by a day, eager to meet the deadline. He hoped he would get away with it. This is the moment our culture tells us to avoid at all costs. The utter, humiliating crash. If Elias had succeeded, if that vase had come out perfect, he would have learned that rushing works. He would have learned that anxiety is a good fuel source. He would have been rewarded for bad habits. Immediate success would have stunted his growth forever. He needed this disaster. We are taught that failure is the opposite of success, but that's a lie. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a vital ingredient of it. When you succeed instantly, you only know that something worked. You rarely know why. When you file, if you have the courage to look at the wreckage, you are given a map of exactly what you don't know yet. There it was. The evidence. He had left the base too thick, and he hadn't wedged the clay properly to remove the air pockets. The heat expanded the air, and the piece blew itself apart from the inside out. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't the universe conspiring against him. It was physics. It was a lack of technique. For the first time in weeks, Elias breathed. It was fixable. He didn't remake the masterpiece. He wasn't ready for that yet. He went back to basics. Armed with the data from his failure, he developed a new respect for the material. He learned patience, not as a virtue, but as a technical requirement. The failure hadn't taken away his talent. It had refined his vision. It replaced arrogance with resilience. Elias didn't get into the Apex Showcase that year. He wasn't ready, but the piece he held in his hands was the best thing he had ever made. Not because it was perfect, but because it was honest. It carried the weight of the lessons learned in the wreckage. Don't wish for the immediate win. Wish for the disaster that forces you to become the person capable of sustaining real success. The shards are where the gold is hidden. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more videos on creativity and personal growth.